if they're backed with quality. And I think that quality that we want to see is the quality in terms of the innovation. And that comes from your, as I said right in the beginning, determination that we are now going to look at problems of society across. And let me tell you, now we've reached a situation where it's not just innovations for India, it's innovations for India and the world. Many of our innovations that we have developed within the country have actually traveled borders. We have seen a lot of our innovative products, technologies being applied so well in not just the developing countries. Africa, of course, is one of our very, very great partner where we take a lot of innovations, but many other collaborative programs that we do, whether it's our collaborations with the European countries, EU, with UK, with US. In fact, very recently, we have now just set up the first international clean energy incubator, which is here in Delhi with Tata Power. This was set up as a part of the India leadership for the mission innovation, which was for clean energy. And very recently, one of our young startups won the global prize on clean energy in UK. Similarly, two of our startups just now won, again, World Economic Forum prizes. So it's so important now for us to see these stars. And I think these are your today's real world models. And why do I say that? Because they have come from the same cohort from which you are coming. That's exactly how they've risen. So they are the ones who can actually motivate you that if they can do it in a short period of 6 to 7 years, we look at you as our future leaders. I also see this program that Professor Gupta and his team at Shrishti does is like what we do, a training of trainers, because you become our champions then. When you go back to your schools and your colleges and your aspirational districts, you carry a very important message. You carry a message of how important ignition is, how important innovation is. You carry back the teachings that you have learned from here. Of course, you do motivate a lot of young students then to come in and take on these courses, but you also become potential team leaders. And that is what we need to do. Countries succeed, innovation succeeds with strong teams. And unless and until you have a strong team, it's not possible. Individuals and loners cannot achieve what you have to achieve. It has to be teams, because you need multidisciplinary teams, you need groups to come forward. One other thing that these sort of cohorts in these schools which help you to take up is a very strong leadership quality. If the country has to succeed, we need strong leaders. And you do not have to say that I have to reach the age of 50 or 60 to become a leader. You can be a leader at your age. You can be the leader who motivates your team to take this forward. You have to have that spirit inside you to say, I am going to lead my team to success. The country will succeed when we have many, many such leaders, when we have many such teams who come together and identify what the solutions are. Each of you exemplifies a model of success because you have come from your district, from your lab, from your school for two different reasons. One is you yourself had the desire to do that. You had that curiosity in your mind. And secondly, you were selected in this cohort because you were an achiever amongst many others. So since you have already come through this training, through this learning, it's important that you carry this baton forward. It's important also now then to take one important lesson from these innovation ignition schools. You will have in the next 3 weeks series of very eminent scientists who will come and address you, who will give you the real life story of what the different technologies are, how do you take them forward. I've also seen in your program, you have tours and visits that you will be able to do. I think what is important is, and I'm sure the team here who is managing this program, is to identify what you find as your excitement point in this whole innovation ignition school, because you may be able to identify something exciting which even the organizers may not have been able to put into the program. And that is where your ingenuity, your inquisitive mind, your curiosity will help them to build this program further for the next generation. I think where we are positioned today, in these last 10 years, when the biotechnology department took on this responsibility to ignite innovation, today this ecosystem has become a model for other sectors. We've seen the impact in agriculture, we've seen the impact in energy, we've seen, of course, the impact in healthcare. How did we respond so quickly to the COVID challenge? Because this ecosystem existed. We had to just bring the teams together, challenge them, and they responded. This is today recognized nationally and globally as well. I think now it is a responsibility on us to see that not only do we take this to different corners of the country, but more importantly, identify a whole range of national challenges. And as I said, we also have within us the complete conviction that we will be able to respond not just to national challenges, but to global challenges as well. And I think it's those challenges that we have to find solutions for. We have a very interesting program that DBT does called the School of International Biodesign, which was originally started with the All India Institute of Medical Sciences along with IIT Delhi. And we had Stanford, which was our first partner. At that point of time, it was called the Stanford India Biodesign Program. This was the first program that we started to build entrepreneurs. And there we had this component of what we call clinical immersion. Now, this clinical immersion program or biodesign program has expanded. We have about, I think, 5 or 6, not sure of the exact number now in DBT, but probably 5 or 6 centers. What it does is it brings the clinicians with the engineers and helps them to be able to identify the challenges at the ground level and then do a need identification and then bring solutions. Again, very similar to what you're doing here. Based on that, the biotechnology department with BIIS launched the Spurs Program. In Spurs, again, it was for social innovation. Social innovation where you do immersion programs, identify needs, and take them forward. I think what you need to do is, Shrishti as an organization has a whole documentation of grassroots innovations. Shrishti as an organization has, through all the Padyatras and which Professor Gupta and his team do across the country, they've documented innovative ideas, but they've also documented challenges. I think it's important for each of you students to pick up a challenge that becomes your passion that you will want to drive and take forward to find a solution. And that innovation should not be restricted just to your own locality or your own area. That needs to be scaled up. And I think it's this Ignition Innovation School and then the ecosystem that we have, which helps it to be scaled up. I do recall the Festival of Innovations, which used to be held in the lawns of the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Young innovators like you would put up such interesting, innovative products and technologies, which the Honorable President would come and witness. And of course, in the last 2 years, there have been no physical events now, but I hope that will come back once we come back to normal. And many of those products, which I'm sure Professor Gupta will tell you today, have been scaled up. And they are now available as products responding to solutions. So I think what I have tried to convey to you in these couple of minutes that is There is already a spirit of um, of moving towards that innovation, taking that innovation baton forward. The ecosystem exists. We need champions like you to drive it forward. This platform that has been given to you is not to be treated just as any 3-week training program where you come, it's not a theoretical class where you're going to learn a syllabus and write an exam and go. It's going to ignite your curiosity. And this, let me tell you, we do it with a lot of two-way motive. We are teaching you something, but what are we getting in return? We're getting these, as I said, are champions who then move into different parts of the country and build more champions. And that's how we are not only being able to tap the potential from the grassroots levels, but we're also taking back to the grassroots champions who then help them to take this innovation forward. Each of your laboratory can work as your incubator. Don't wait to say that unless and until I go into XYZ lab of the national laboratory, only will I succeed. No, each of your laboratory, each of your mentor gives you the opportunity to be able to succeed. Today, we have a large number of success stories, and success drives further success. Remember one thing, you as young innovators have to take back a number of important messages. And one is, you've taken on the biggest challenge of becoming an innovator. You've sort of embarked onto that journey, risky journey of becoming an entrepreneur, a social entrepreneur, a commercial entrepreneur. It's an entrepreneurial journey, that because you're getting into an area where nobody knows what the end is going to be. It's a risk area. But one thing you have to all remember is, as a scientist, one thing that we all learn when we get into science is never be afraid of failures, because there is nothing like a failure. In science experiments, we never fail. We learn from that failure. We go back to our bench. We then modify the materials and methods and methodology, and we come back again till we succeed. And that's how our experiments succeed. Even if an experiment has not succeeded, it is given a learning for the next experiment. What is it that we should not do? What are the new methodologies we should take? What is the new path we should take? In science, nothing is ever a failure. So there is no failure in this. You can only succeed. It is the first step to your ladder of success. Because if you do not fail, you will really not know how to take the next step. So you have to remember that that's part of your whole journey of success, that you're moving ahead. And let me conclude by saying that we have a lot of hopes on you. We have a lot of hopes on what you are doing, what you will be as a future for us. And this is what is helping us to further strengthen these programs as we move on. And there is a wonderful saying, which I think it was Edison who had said that if you, or I don't recall who, but he said that if you continue to do what you're doing, you will only get what you've got so far. You have to think of new ways, new things that you will do. And that new path I compliment Professor Gupta and his team for encouraging you to take that step into that new path. So, and I'm sure there will be, as I said, only success for you. Don't get deterred by any obstacles that come your way. This whole country and the ecosystem stands behind you, because we know that you are our future, which we are looking forward to. So thank you very much, Professor Gupta. And I'm really very happy to see this wonderful cohort with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Renu. You brought a very new interpretation of India, which I like very much. Inquisitiveness, novelty, determination, innovation, and application. I've remembered it now. So that's wonderful. Also, you mentioned 2-3 things which I would like to highlight. You mentioned that they're all ambassadors. And I think Sitare-based participants should remember that you are all ambassadors of a great initiative that Department of Biotechnology and BIREC have taken to collaborate with Honeybee Network and Srishti to ignite the mind of young people. Thirdly, you also mentioned that there is no failure in science. And if they do what they already know the answer of, then it is not research, it is just a replication. I mentioned them to them, and I'm happy that you reinforced it. So they should not, our participants should not hesitate in taking up challenges bigger than their capacity, bigger than their potential. So while they may think as an undergraduate, how can I do that? But what if they do it? And you will be happy to know that one of the exceptions we did in Gyati Award was that we took a second-year student from Agriculture University, Udaipur, Narayan Lal Gurjar. And he did some experiments on polymers that he made out of the skin of fruits and vegetables. And he did experiments in the land between two dormitories in the hostel. He had no farm. And can you imagine that he was selected by Japan? And yesterday or 2 days back, he got the best startup award of Japan for bioeconomy. So he was a second-year student, mind you. And he and his team, EF Polymer is the name of the company that they have set up. And I must say that shows that undergraduate students can create a world-class company. And he was just an appreciation awardee, because at that time we wouldn't take undergraduates, but we did take in this case. And you said, all right, if there's an exception to be made, let us make an exception. And our confidence in that young students from Agriculture University proved well. So I think our students will be very inspired by today's address that you have given them and inspired them. And I hope that at some stage, maybe when they do their projects, we can invite you again for an hour so that you can listen to whatever things that they have done and further give them feedback and something that you like, and you tell them, look, this is excellent. I'm sure it will remain with them for their life. So thank you so much.
Sure, and, Professor Gupta, I will be very happy when their final projects are done, and at that point of time, if there is some presentation they are making, I'll try and fit it into
I took a commitment from you without giving you a choice, because when leaders like you say it is good, they know it is really good, because you wouldn't say that without really meaning it. So I think that kind of appreciation from you will go a long way for genuinely outstanding work. And we have this time students from IIT as well as students from local small college in a district. So we have a wide range, and I would encourage our students to help each other, because not everybody will learn at the same speed. So thank you so much, Renu, once again for taking time out for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I will log out in just about 2 minutes. I know Manish is going to speak now.
Manish is just going to join. Yes,
but I will have to log out because we have this council meeting. So I'll just log out in about 2-3 minutes, Doctor.
Yeah. But we have Manish and we have Shilpi. So they will, but Manish will join any minute, I think, in a...
I'm here, sir.
You're here. Very good.
Very good morning. And this was my loss that I missed Dr. Swaroop's talk. I really wanted to hear that. Unfortunately, there was another...
We will share with you the recording.
All right, you've been hearing me for years.
But I can tell you, Renu, that both Manish, Shilpi, and other colleagues from Archana and others from BIREC, they have brought a lot of energy to this every program that they take up. And this energy, I hope, will sustain in future too, because this is something that we all take pride in.
I'm sure it will. We've got an energetic group, and as I said, energy levels will only increase because of the wonderful success that this program is doing. So I'm very confident that this will go higher and higher.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Renu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us.
So, Manish, the floor is yours.
All right. Good morning to all the colleagues, Dr. Swaroop, Professor Gupta, Shilpi, and the fellow colleagues from BIIS organization team, as well as those fortunate members of BIIS workshop who got this unique opportunity to come and engage in next 3 to 4 weeks to listen to such inspiring talks which you just sampled just now. I think I was thinking in the morning, one example that crossed my mind, just like in the childhood days and probably now also, we play that dodgeball game, right? So consider all the experts that you would be interacting with in this 3 weeks workshop. those are the people who have teamed up, and those would be throwing knowledge balls to each one of you. And I think, as we see in the dodgeball, there is nobody left who is untouched. And those knowledge balls, which I'm sure would touch your lives at different aspects, and you will be able to sample. And some of them, you will hear a lot of different aspects and perspective. And that experience, like each person who would be speaking would be sharing their experiences with you. And I think some of those talks would touch your lives in different perspectives. And the ensemble that Professor Gupta and his team that has been created, uh, I'm sure the probability of reaching out to you and inspiring you is very high. So that's how I look at this 3 weeks of workshop. And if you look at the program, it's fairly detailed, fairly structured, and uh, at at the student level, if you get that kind of umbrella perspective, it is a unique opportunity. Many of you whom have been able to reach this far, I think you have your differentiated yourself from your peer group, and that extra effort would is likely to pay off in the long term. So stay connected, uh, follow this path, and keep sampling it from the different streams that get introduced through this workshop. The idea of floating this activity along with Professor Gupta and his team is to bring recognition and awareness at at student level, that these are different paths how you can emerge and shape up your forward journey uh, once you dwell further. As many of you would like to enter into uh, explore placement services, explore research and future research activities. Some of you might want to engage in different facets of life. Entrepreneurial journey is another facet. Some might draw inspiration from different discipline of sciences, relate it to common societal needs, and being technically trained in your schools, college, research institutions, you would notice that your knowledge can actually bring benefit to many people of the society, and you can actually contribute to addressing the unmet needs. And in your individual capacity, if you're able to relate to that unmet need and probably identify a problem statement, collectively, when you create a team around yourself with complementary strength, like-minded people, uh, backed with uh, facilitation through technology techniques or understanding of the different dynamics of research and development, I think that will evolve and that will lead you to actually address that unmet need. And there have been many such successful examples which initiate from an humble idea at the student age, because at that level you are not really biased. You're looking at things from your own naive perspective that has not been really influenced by the conventional perspectives. So this is the uniqueness and the USP that you possess. And the idea of exposing you through this knowledge in this workshop is to shine that perspective and empower and augment that perspective with the relevant know-hows, technical strength, etc., and the opportunities that are available, that can be availed and explored, and further that can further facilitate your journey. I think in the sessions you would also hear from Ms. Shilpi that what all BIREC has been doing uh, to facilitate entrepreneurial journey, facilitate uh, risky risky innovations, translation of those research into real products and technologies that can eventually be deployed into the ecosystem. So far, we have now 5,000 plus biotech startups in the country, and all of you might have heard about India is the largest nation, third largest nation, home to startups. The talent pool that we have from all parts of the country, including major cities, developed clusters, tier 1, tier 2 cities, aspirational districts, all around. You would also have heard that India is now home to 82 unicorns. Unicorns are startups or the companies which have reached a valuation of 1,000 crore and up. So India is now house to 82 such unicorns, and 84 in fact. And 42 of them have actually, Dr. Gupta, just came in last year only. So it is very exciting area, and the biotech area that you would, it's very interdisciplinary, more complex, technical, IP-led, a little bit more gestational period compared to other sectors of startup like e-commerce or fintech or services sector. So those have actually matured earlier, and you've been seeing that success. Biotech startups like, for example, healthcare, new drug discovery, new devices creation, new solutions for agri-tech or industrial biotech sector, clean energy, they take little longer. So there is already a built or a large band which is already existing, a large pipeline, and we can expect now that they will now reach to maturity, and they've been successes and successful examples which we've been hearing not only within the ecosystem but also a recognition from across different ecosystem. People are watching very carefully how the India's ecosystem, innovation ecosystem, is being maturing and yielding. The expectations are high, not only from the youth of the country, but people from outside the country. Other markets are looking at India as both a market for commerce as well as a market to source in talent, as well as a place where they can seed and create new solutions, both from manufacturing onwards as well as from R&D onwards. I think you are the future of the country, the the torch bearers. So more you explore and prepare yourself, and at least make yourself aware that these are the different facets of life that can be reached out, and if something triggers the anxieties or inspires you, so I think people like us, the bodies, Srishti, Gayati, Gyan, Honeybee Network, BIRAC, so these are people who are enablers, and we'll be happy to facilitate you and take you to the next level, provided you show that strength, passion, and competitive merit that you can excel and take things forward. So all the best to you who have gathered here, and I wish you all success and very fruitful next 3 to 4 weeks of engagement. I would, Professor Gupta, I would also urge that the previous batches of BIIS workshop, maybe we can introduce some people who can share their experiences with the new batches.
We have got two, yeah, we have planned 2 sessions. One where Amar will share some of the outstanding home project that they did, so that they get a glimpse of what is possible even without access to the lab. So that is one. The second is that we will also bring some of the participants, both from Gyati and from BIIS, old participants, to share with them their excitement. So both your suggestions is extremely valid. We will implement it in this group. And I'm sure the students will realize that so much can be done, even though we always tend to underestimate the potential for research of undergraduate students. But this time, we will show them that some of the students have done, and they will, I'm sure, do better than them. I have no doubt about it.
Absolutely, and all of you who perform and deliver, you actually inspire us, in the 360-degree feedback, to do and bring more for you and your peers to so that your journeys can be made more successful and meaningful. So I think we are very happy to engage and happy to facilitate, sir. Thank you. I will stop here, sir.
Thank you, Manish, so much. And I look forward to see you on 16th. I'm planning to be in Delhi, so I will look you up and not Shilpi in the afternoon whenever quickly convenient. But let me tell you, all my dear friends, that Manish has steered several programs, almost all the programs that bring translational research to practice, to social innovations, and to entrepreneurship revolution. Renu was mentioning, Manish, about how during the COVID, various platforms, including CSC Camp and others that you created, did a wonderful work of bringing various actors together to solve real-time problems real-time. So I must compliment the leadership that you have shown in BIIS, not only in creating an ecosystem, but also ensuring that this ecosystem works at every level, including the level of the undergraduate students, as in this case. And I'm sure we took a commitment from Renu, and I'm going to take a commitment from you, and Shilpi also, that we should get you back toward the end of the program for a session when they would have done something and when they will present. So, my dear friends, you will now have an opportunity to meet them, because for all that you know, some of the ideas, if they're really good, they can go to the next level. And as Shilpi will explain, the big grant is up to 50 lakh. From 1 lakh that we give to the 10 students in BIIS, 10 best ideators in BIIS. From 1 to 50, that is the ratio of scaling up your ideas. So I'm sure at least one of you will make it to the next level. That's our hope. So Manish, if you can manage toward the end of the program, we will get you back, all the three of you, former secretary, you, so that you can give them feedback. If you find something really meaningful, then you, of course, your encouragement and mentoring will mean a lot to them.
Sure, sir. We'll be happy to engage again. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We'll be getting the we'll be engaged at the back of the scene as well.
Yes. We'll, and Manish, you will appreciate, you have seen the program, all the three of you, that you, Renu, and Shilpi, and of course, secretary might have also seen the program, that no one institution in this country can bring all these actors together, all these experts together. So in that sense, it's as Renu mentioned, it's a very privileged opportunity for our students to get exposure to the best minds of our country. And in that sense, we are also hopeful. There are many of them are Bhatnagar awardees, many of them are, and some of them will be big grant team. We'll try to bring them also. So please you also can suggest, if you feel that some of the people who you know very well, and we should bring them for an exposure to the students, please do tell us, do send us your names and suggestions, and we will bring them to our class.
Certainly. I think your program is very enriched. I've gone through the entire program, and there is no end to further enrichment. But I think the students' feedback would be also important. Not only the current batch's feedback, because in the 3 weeks of time, there's so much of knowledge sharing that you will get exposed to. I would suggest that don't miss any of those sessions. Take time out and just listen to them. It is not an exam, but I think it is it is the personal development that will be unmatched for all the students. That's what that is how I look at it. But sometimes, Professor Gupta, in my own experience, we don't realize when the things are present in the present time at the face value, and later in the life when we can then relate that that was an asset, or that was a uniqueness I could hear or I could learn from that exposure, and then you relish that that opportunity. So I'm just thinking from the perspective of student. So let's not build too much of expectations in terms of qualitative feedback for the sessions immediately. But I think the past batches whom would have who got this exposure and who would have then assimilated that knowledge and use that knowledge or put that knowledge in certain context or perspective, their their feedback could be kind of more critical and relevant. We will also be continuously, adding the suggestions to
All these students can switch on their videos before Manish and Shilpi leave. I think I would request. We had to do that because Renu's link was getting disrupted because of bandwidth problems. So at that time, I requested everybody to switch off. But now all of you can switch on your videos. All the students.
Very, very pleased to see all of you.
So please switch on your videos so that you can all show your faces. Thank you, Siddharth, Saurav, Anjali, Tarunmay, and Arushi, and all of them. Please, Tauti, Vaishnavi, Rakshit. Now, I realize that some of you, because of the small mishap that we had in the morning, could not rejoin, but we will have you all join and bring your institute name and location also in your label. So, for example, Tejaswini, for the sake of it, Tejaswini, ISER. Where are you from? Which one? Vijayawada? Which one? Tejaswini, where are you from?
Bangalore.
Huh? No, Bangalore you are currently, but
Tirupati, sir.
Tirupati. So Tejaswini, ISER, Tirupati. If you write like this, your name, then we know from where you are, which institution, and where. So that will be very helpful for speakers also sometime to put you in a place and then context and then maybe relate some examples from your context. So therefore, this is a good suggestion. And from next session onwards, you can do that. Any other suggestion you have, Manish and Shilpi, will like to incorporate? Because this is the power of concurrent improvement, constant improvement, that we can always do something better before it is too late.
I think the students, I have also young boys. So the students at present have got saturated from the online classes, the regular classes, and also each one of us is kind of looking forward for and missing that physical get together and interaction. But at least the best part is that in these virtual platform, we can connect, yet moving from our respective places, and you have that online recording and reviewing what you learned or what you missed, unfortunately.
I also mentioned, Manish, that I should have mentioned, but I didn't. I will mention now that some of them can come back to our lab. Those of them who do not have facilities, at least 10 of them who are going to get 1 lakh award, appreciation award, can come to our lab in Gram Bharati, Amrapur, near Gandhinagar, to do your research, your experiments here. So that if you do not have facilities in your college, or for some reason there are complexities in getting access to, here you can work day and night, 24 hours the lab will be open. So that's one thing that we mentioned, that there is a provision for some of you to come back. In fact, the BIIS program used to be offline earlier, but because of COVID constraints, we had to do. But we are very hopeful, and I think Shilpi and Manish, you will agree that we should bring some of them now that things are improving and colleges are opening. At least in the next year, they will have a chance. They should have a chance to come back and spend some time in the lab and also meet each other personally. Those of them who do well in their proposal, at least those should get a chance. So I think we should be able to do that. What do you think?
Absolutely, and I believe that next year means next fiscal year from April onwards. Yeah, I think this is a wonderful opportunity for all the participants, that this is an extended opportunity that Professor Gupta is referring to. It's unique, and you would not find this kind of openness and flexibility in terms of you experience. Like, for example, you are studying in your colleges or institute, you've done your degree, then you move out. Typically, you don't get a legitimate entry for follow-up activities. But here, that is the strength of the innovation ecosystem, the incubation network, that openness is there, and that continued sustained engagement provision is also there, which Professor Gupta is kindly referring to. And the BIS, I think, philosophy of BIG is larger than many conventional activities. I if like kindly relish that opportunity. That is what I would urge. And again, sir, thank you for having me here. And we are very happy to make
Thank
this.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Shilpi. We look forward to see you, Shilpi, tomorrow at 10:30 morning, and then Shilpi will explain to you various programs of BIREC so that you get an exposure as to which are the windows that are available to you and how do you access them, and don't stop at just this. So that's what we are expecting in this session tomorrow. Please, Shilpi, to provide them some time for questions if they wish to get an answers to those programs, because you will by definition have to be short in your presentation, but at least some of them may have queries. And we will share your presentation with them later on so that they can also come back. So thank you so much. Thank you. We will bring the Amar, would you like to just give a vote of thanks, and then we'll close the inaugural session and then come with the next session.
Yes, Professor. Thank you, Professor. It's a very good morning to everyone. I would like to thank Professor Anil Gupta for providing us this opportunity to get all the students from different parts of India together to share their knowledge, to gain some knowledge, and to validate the grassroots practices and innovations to become innovators, entrepreneurs. And I also would thank, it's a great pleasure to have Dr. Renu Sharu with us this morning. She has given us a lot of insights about the developments the government of India is taking to help the students, to nurture them, to nurture their ideas. And to quote her specifically, there is no failure in science. With us, so we all should remember that while doing our experiments, we to reinvent ourselves whenever we face difficulties. And we'd also thank Dr. Manish Diva and Dr. Silpi Kocha to be here with us on this day, guiding the students and inspiring them. And I'd like to thank each and every one of the participants here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we will continue the link, but Manish and Shilpi, if you wish to continue, you're welcome. But otherwise, I realize the pressures on your time. So Amar, we will continue with the next session now, or?
Next session, yes, Professor.
So you give them a break for a few minutes?
Yes, for 15 minutes, then we will start resuming.
So they will remain on link. And
yes.
Correct?
Link will be open, and then after 15 minutes, we'll start the next session.
Okay. Thank you. All the best. All the best.
Sir. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning to everyone. Is everyone back? Students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in this session, I will give you about like an overview or a highlights about the past BIIS programs.
On the tableau, we have squad leader Manish Kumar, squad leader Ashiva.
Please disable the sharing option for students.
Okay. The purpose and objective of BIIS is to conceptual and technological knowledges that we are documented through the grassroots innovations. This we help students to improve their skills, access new skills, improve their skills, and to transform the people's knowledge, the grassroots people's knowledge, which is documented into a product. There are various methods or fields of there to solve those problems, like using microbial techniques or devising medical diagnostic tools through phytochemical extractions and pharmacological applications. Each of these problems, we do research of literature surveys or prayer arts searches. We make patterns, we search the patterns, we study them, and we identify the scope of research, to identify the scope of research and to choose the correct methodology in collecting data, to analyze the data, and to interpret the data which we generate through our studies, and to find the robustness, like whether our data is significant. Okay, so all these things we are doing through our BIIS. We are going to learn through this BIIS programs to enhance those skills through these BIIS programs, which will give you an opportunity to make your project into a very good one. Also, we have to be ethically responsible and socially accountable to the people whose knowledge we work on. So what we do is we take their ideas, we validate them, we do value addition to them, and then we give back that benefit to the people from whom we took the knowledge. Okay. So like patent. So patent, like Professor mentioned in the morning, we can publish papers and apply for patents, but in patents, their names will go for credit will be given to the people for whose knowledge we are working on. Like that, we are going to see different aspects of IPR also in this workshops. So before going into the details of the workshops, normally we are working on 5 different themes like pharmacology and or phytochemistry, medical devices, veterinary applications, microbial applications, everything. Okay. Next, so the first BIIS program was started in December 9, 2017, and so far 9 BIIS workshops have been conducted, and until the 9 BIIS workshops conducted, a total of 399 students have been selected for these workshops and have been mentored by Srishti and its team. Out of this total 399 students, we have selected 97 students so far who have received a grant of 1 lakh to further pursue their research ideas. And a total number of ongoing projects is currently 78 projects, and 9 projects have been completed so far. This is a list of awardees, total number of awardees, and each workshop 10, and a maximum we have 15 students awarded in our BIIS 2 program. Okay. Coming to the theme wise projects, the agricultural based projects where 36 projects were been currently going on with students, and for devising a point of designing point of care device or medical application, diagnostic applications, we have 8 projects going on, and microbial using microbial resources, we have 14 projects, and pharmacological and phytochemical usage, we have 21 projects, and veterinary like cattle, mostly we are focusing on cattle and their problems like diseases or ectoparasites, major diseases like mastitis, we are working on mastitis. Okay, the 18 projects are going on. Coming to the BIIS 1 workshop, these are the top 10 shortlisted projects. I'm giving you this because you will have an idea about what type of projects which can be you can choose like a similar type of projects, or you can take these projects and you can do value addition to this, or you can do something innovative. You bring your innovative ideas into these projects also. We are also have other list of several list of documented projects from our Shodh Yatras and everything. So we will give you those projects with them, and you can select. We will share them with you later during our workshops, and from this we will also guide you to how to choose a project and how to design your experiments, how to design your how to do literature surveys, prior art searching, how to develop the methodologies and how to validate them. We will also give you training for how to biostatistically validate your data, because validation of your data is very important. So biostatically using statistical tools, how to validate your data, okay, and interpret them. We'll also give training for them. Okay. So in BIIS 10 workshops, we have 15 participants who have received a grant. So these are the topics like phosphate solubilizing and aerosol spray, herbal spray for mastitis. Its development is going on. And then like using chitinase producing microbes, screening for chitinase producing microbe, because industrially important microorganisms is in a large demand, huge demand. There's a huge market for that. And like evaluating phytochemical components of medicinal plants for applications, human applications, and or cattle applications we are doing. So these are the project like development of chitin from shrimp cells is a very good project, which we have got a very good results also. And this is the BIIS 3 workshops ka topics which have been awarded. 1 lakh grant. Like you can see the development of nutritious food like dessert for the anti-diabetic patients using like various herbal polyherbal mixtures. You can develop a food product which can be consumed, which can reach the end users, which can benefit the users, not only by regularly taking medicine, which can bring down the consumption of allopathy medicines. Okay, like that you can focus on these kind of research topics. This is the topics related to BIIS School 4. Here we can see development of mastitis yearly detection kit. Mastitis is one of the common, very major disease in cows. Okay, due to this disease, onset of this disease, the cow's milk production is very less, and also it affects the overall health of the cow. So whatever if we can bring a simple solution to the cattle owners to detect these disease in the earlier stage itself, which we can save the life of the cows, and also we can save the cost of medicines, allopathy medicines, investing on allopathic medicines. There are many phytochemical studies are there for mastitis is going on, for other ectoparasite is going on, and for you can see the use of different herbs for the applications in agricultural pest control. This is the list of BIIS 5. 10 BIIS projects have been selected from this. Here we can see the biopesticides. So everyone will be aware of the chemical pesticides which are currently we are being using in our agriculture, and which causes which somehow it travels through the system and it reaches us, and we are subjected to a lot of health problems due to these chemical pesticides, including where a lot of cancer causing agents are there, and it also pollutes the environment, like it the use of biopesticide is nowadays, as we are returning to the organic farming, is getting a boost worldwide, and most of the European countries are now shifting towards the organic farming, because the over usage of chemical pesticides is causing a lot of environmental and human, and also for the cattle are a lot of issues, health issues. This is a list of projects in BIIS 6. We have shortlisted 10 students for this program. Okay, in this you can see a device of a point of care device like a microfluidic biosensor to estimate the folic acid levels. Okay, this will help you to early detection of a disease. Okay, so like that you can create develop your own ideas, like paper-based biosensors or applications. We are having sessions, 3-4 sessions with eminent speakers from eminent institutes who are currently pioneers in biosensors and microfluidic, working on microfluidics. We wish you to attend those sessions to get an idea about the latest technological advancements and latest thing, so that you can it will help you in deciding your research proposal. This is BIIS 7 ka 10 project we have 10. And this is BIIS 8 ka. Here you can see the homemade biofertilizer using yeast. So like this simple ones, simple ideas can be made into one project and can be applied. If it is, you can become a successful in this, then you can start your own startups ideas using this. This is for a BIIS 9 school. We have awarded 10 best projects. Most of them are dividing with animals applications and crop applications. And coming to the home experiments, due to the COVID constraints, many students were not able to reach their labs in their institutions, or they are unable to come to Srishti's lab. So we have we have asked the students to come up with their own ideas, like what are the things that are available within their reach. They can do some experiments, they have come out with innovative ideas. So these are some of the ideas that students have been currently working on from our BIIS 9 participants, like a development of disinfectant, herbal disinfectant, and evaluation of different medicines against fungi like rhizopus. Rhizopus is a very common fungi we can see in our foods, like food contaminants, as a food contaminations. So how to use traditional medicines to reduce the load of microbial load of such contaminant fungi. Okay, so like that. And one of the interesting ideas is by Arva Bora, like using different histological staining. Okay, she was like focusing on using different pigments, extraction of different pigment compounds from different fruits. Okay, like citrus, Paxinia, Momodica, and she was developing and staining method, different staining stains for to blood smear or like this. This is very like this. You can think of some innovative ideas to use. And some examples of like a homemade water filter using like a corn mobs. We always throw our corn mobs, like small vegetable things, fibers. We are not mostly consuming those fibers, and we throw them to a dustbin, right? So a student, Pramit, has come up with an idea to develop a homemade water filtering using these items like corn sticks, moringa, fruit peels, etc. And homemade insecticides for plant growth. And so these are the various ideas that have been currently the students are working on. And I hope you get an idea about what kind of projects you can develop through this program. We will also guide you through all this, each and every step. We have mentors from different fields who can help you in successfully designing and working towards your research project. Okay, thank you all for participating in this. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. You can unmute yourselves, and if you have any doubts or clarifications, questions, you can ask.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Arushi.
Yes, good afternoon, Arushi.
Sir, so would we get some sort of like certificate or something after we are done?
Yes, for the participants, you will get the participant certificate.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
And those who have been selected, they will receive a certificate of appreciation and 1 lakh grant.
Excuse me, sir. So
Yes.
you told about home project also. Is home project and the final proposal are the same, or should be like different?
In some cases, it is different. If you still prefer to do home experiments, because if you are unable to get into your universities or colleges, or if you are unable to come here, still you can work as a home project can be considered.
Thank you, sir.
So, any other questions? So if no questions further, then we will wind up this session. Then next session will start by 1:15 after your lunch.
Sir, can you share the slides in the group if it's possible?
Sure, we will share everything, all the materials with you. Yes.
So one question,
Yes,
1 lakh, this thing, is it like a cash award or is it a grant, like you'll get reimbursement for?
It is a grant,
the reagents
like
or
grant.
something?
It is not a cash award, it is a grant.
Okay.
It is a grant.
So
Yes.
we would have to, make a purchase and then get it reimbursed, something like that, for
Yes,
say
yes,
reagents or whatever.
Yes, there are formalities are there. There are some forms are there you need to fill. You need to have some new specific account for releasing this grant. Okay.
Okay.
We will periodically, we will in installment, 2 to 3 installment, we will release your grants depending upon your work progress. Like if you show your work progress, then we will release your grants.
I see. Okay, thank you.
So excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So how many days will you give to do the project, sir?
Pardon? How many?
Sir, how many days will you be given to do the home project, sir?
That depends upon your proposal design. Some projects may be 3 months, some projects may take 6 months time, some projects may take more than 6 months. So based upon your proposal designing, we will select them, we will access that, and then we will award.
So then only on March 6th, no sir, we have to present our final proposal. So we have to like one protocol which we have constructed, should we have to perform then present it, sir?
No, we will help you in designing your proposals. We will give you like we have a document our a lot of innovative practices. So you should work. Most of the works will be based on that innovative ideas. So you can take one of the ideas which is interesting for you. Then we will help you to develop a complete research proposal over that idea. And then in the end you submit to us, and we have expert team who will go through your research proposal. They will screen it, evaluate it, and they will give us the results, suggestions.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, then we will wind up this schedule now. The next session will be starting by 1:15. Okay, so please come back after your lunch. Okay.
Hello all.
And please
so those who missed the lectures, we will share with you the YouTube links. You can watch them. We have, because we are also having different, in the weekends we will have quiz sessions, we will have assignments based on all these lectures you are attending. Okay, so take time, go through all the videos. Okay, and go through all the, we will share, will also with different materials will be, study materials will be shared. So you read all those materials. Okay, because all the assignments you are going to do will be based on all the lectures you are going to attend. Okay, so stay focused on the lectures. Okay, wishing you all the best. Thank you.